Hi, I'm Mo. I'm really glad you're here. This really was an impromptu video. I was not planning to film today, but earlier I was at Sephora and there's just been this one palette that's been on my mind, and I wandered past it and I just decided that I needed to bring it home. I hadn't heard a lot about it, so I thought maybe you would like to see it going on my face and a few swatches and that kind of thing. So that is what we've got. So let's look at it together, shall we? This is the one in question. It is the Fall Feels palette from Tarte. So that was the outer packaging, which you just saw. And then the inside is just, I love it. I love this little palette. So this is the inner packaging, which is, what do I call this? Not felt exactly. Maybe felt would be kind of an appropriate way to describe the fabric, and it is fabric. Obviously, it's a pink plaid, and you open up the palette, which I have not done yet. And I believe there's a mirror. There is indeed a mirror. Please enjoy the mirror. And then it's this. It is one blush in the center, and then these shadows around the outside. Trying not to blind you with the mirror there. So there are two matte eyeshadows, these two. And the blush is matte as well, so I figure, yeah, I could use that on my eyes. And then these are all shimmers. But we have to talk about the names, because that's the reason I bought this palette. So we've got Sippin' Cider down here, and Tailgate. Fall Feels is actually the name of the blush color. Homecoming, Apple Picking, Pumpkin Patch, Corn Maze, and Hayride. Really, the names are the reason I bought this. Let's see if we can give you a decent shot there without the mirror blinding you. Just, I don't know, I can't fully explain it, but something about this palette has power over me, and therefore I got it, and I thought we'd try it. So the only thing I have on currently is foundation, which I put on, I don't know, like 6 hours ago, because I'm testing a new foundation, and I just put some CoverGirl Lid Locket on for eyeshadow primer. That's all I've got, and I thought, hey, let's put this on. So this is going to be very informal, and I'm going to be looking in the little Tarte mirror here. And I'm actually going to start with blush. The blush is called Fall Feels, right there in the middle. And as I recall from swatching it, it's pretty light. But it's, it's Tarte blush. And I like Tarte blushes. Typically, they stay on. Is this scented? It smells like kind of vanilla-y. I think it's scented, which I didn't even know when I was so enamored with it that I had to go and get it today. So that's kind of cool. So here's the blush, just using my e.l.f. blush brush, which I've mentioned before I like because it is small and I have a small face. So I'm not putting on a ton of blush, but that's a nice little color. And it's neutral, but it's not too warm. Like it's pretty neutral, and it almost looks like, my thinking was that it was like this pale pink or pale shade that wouldn't even show up on me, but you can definitely see I've got some blush on and I didn't put a ton on. So I'm going to start with that amount of blush. The color I've been wanting to put on is the Sippin' Cider. Ever since I saw this in store, I'm like, oh, that green, that shimmery green. Oh, and Apple Picking. I think I might have to go with Apple Picking. I have to do that. And I'm not a makeup artist. I would never ever pretend to be. I just like makeup, so anything that I do is usually pretty simple. So if you like simple, you're probably my kind of speed here in terms of eye looks. To be boring. What the heck? So this is Hayride. Gonna put this in the crease. Oh, there's some nice bad lighting. Please enjoy the bad lighting. I'll try to do some of this toward you. This is definitely scented. And not in a, oh, I can't tell if it's supposed to be like chocolate or vanilla. Maybe it's supposed to be like s'mores scented. I suppose I could read the box, couldn't I? And find out the description. But I was just so excited I didn't even do that. Okay. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just literally looking at my phone. It'll be fine. So that's Hayride. And again, I'm just kind of putting this together as we go. So that's Hayride, this one, in the crease. Hayride in the crease. I'm using my Wayne Goss eye brush set, which I received last Christmas as a gift from my husband. I had wanted it, I don't even know. I'd probably wanted these brushes for 4 years. Some things are worth waiting for. So super simple, just put that in the crease. I really want to try that green sparkly shade, but I also want apple picking. Could I do both of those? That might be insane. Okay, so apple picking is this one. This is apple picking. And I'm gonna try that just with my finger. Feels a little dry actually. I'm just gonna put that all over the lid. Oh my goodness, whoops, that is okay, that's got a touch more color payoff than I anticipated when I stuck my finger in there. Oh my. Okay, that's all right. It's makeup. We have brushes, we have fingers, we can blend, we can change. And if that doesn't work, you can just take your makeup off. It's one of the beauties of makeup. That is a cool color. Can you see it? This is not like a done look, finished look. Wow, that color has remarkable pigment. I'm sincerely surprised by that. I'm kind of working it with my finger up into the crease. Because first of all, there's a lot of eyeshadow that I just put on my eye. But I also think it will look nice that way. I'm going to use that same brush and kind of just work it up into the crease. What a cool color, that apple picking. I really like that. It's showing up a bit more orange or coppery, maybe is the word I'm looking for on camera. It's got a little, it's not quite that warm. Well, it's hard to say. This is so cute. I do apologize for the lighting. Every time I put my hand up here, the light just gravitates right toward it, and I know that is annoying. Okay, so I put Hayride in the crease. As I said, apple picking is kind of all over the lid. I liked it. When it comes to shimmers, I pretty much work with my fingers. I don't know, that was pretty intense. I don't think I'm going to put dark green on top of that. But I am going to take Corn Maze, which is this gold. I'm going to take my little finger and put Corn Maze right in here. So basically the inner corner, and drag that into the apple picking color. Again, really nice pigmentation, and I'm not dipping in quite as hard on this one because I learned my lesson with the first one. This is a cute, I knew I was going to like this palette, and I don't know why. These are not colors that I typically would go for, like a dark blue and a dark green and a gold, and you know, they're not huge pans. It's a small little set, but it's kind of cool. And it really smells good. I am going to look at the package. I'm going to look at the description to find out what, well, first of all, if in fact it is scented or if I'm hallucinating. And then I'm going to find out what the scent is supposed to be, so I will tell you that. So that's what we've got. Again, this is real time. I'm not doing much editing here at all. I know I like to know how long it takes somebody to put on their eye look, because a lot of times they fast forward through it or cut through it, and I'm like, okay, how long did that really take? All I did there, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned, I didn't put any extra eyeshadow on that brush. I just kind of ran it back up in the crease, and this is a bare brush. I'm just blending right up in here, because really most of the blending, quote unquote blending I did was with my finger up into the crease. So I'm going for, holy cow, I didn't do much, but I've definitely got an eye look going on there. That's cool. It's just it's a perfect fall look. I'm hoping that's coming across so you can see kind of the reddish, it is a little coppery, I guess, kind of rusty color, and then the gold fades into it. And that's great. I really like it. And that took, how long did that take? Not very long at all. And I like the blush. I'm going to throw on a little more blush. There's always a fine line for me on blush. I think because I have relatively light skin, that sometimes I feel like it doesn't show up at all. And then other times I feel like, oh, I went one swipe too far. So there's my very quick put together look. I'm not gonna put on mascara on a full face because I think you're probably more interested in swatches at this point now that you've seen the palette, you've seen those colors go on my eyes. So let's start with, we'll kind of start with the matte shades. So we've got Homecoming, Hayride, Corn Maze, Pumpkin Patch. So those are the first four. And I like to do live swatches. This lighting, of course, is not great. I like to do live swatches so there's no question of, well, how many times did you dip in or whatever that might be. So you can see those. This, obviously, this Homecoming is very light. In fact, it's close to my skin tone, so you're not going to see much from that. And each of these I just kind of dipped in. I didn't dip in crazily or anything like that. So then we've got Apple Picking next. We know that's got some pigmentation. And Sippin' Cider and Tailgate. And those are obviously darker colors, so we're going to get more payoff from those. Apple Picking, the one on my eyes. Sippin' Cider. Tailgate. All come off very nicely. You know, if you're concerned about it being overly shimmery, like, because that's what I thought, right? Oh, there's only 2 matte shades and these shimmers will be, they won't work for me very well, but all of this is actually looking pretty usable to me. And then we'll do a blush swatch. I don't know how well this is going to turn out because you've already seen it on my cheeks, but let's do one anyway. So this is a swatch of Fall Feels, which is the blush, and is a neutral. When you look in the pan, it looks kind of pink, but it's, and maybe it leans barely pink, but it's pretty neutral. I'd call that a pretty neutral blush. So I know you can't see Homecoming because it matches my skin. And then Hayride, we've got Corn Maze, which is the gold, Pumpkin Patch, Apple Picking, Sippin' Cider, Tailgate, and Fall Feels, which is the blush. Oh, and I didn't say the price is $25. So it's a blush and it's 7 eyeshadows and a blush. $25. As I said, Mirror, very cute packaging, very cute names, very fall, which I haven't seen a lot of fall collections. It kind of goes right from summer to holiday. So it's kind of cool. I liked that too. And it is called the Tarte Fall Feels if you happen to be looking for it in store. I do not see on the box that it is scented. I'll see if I can, I'll leave a pinned comment down below because I'm smelling something. And it smells good. It, as I said, it smells like white chocolate or vanilla kind of. It smells good and it's not overly fragranced at all. It's not like annoying. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. If my thumbnail looked a lot better, it's because I decided to put mascara and stuff on and maybe even take my hair down. Or maybe it looks exactly like this because I'm okay with that. So that's the Tarte Fall Feels palette. That was it kind of stole my heart. I like it and I enjoyed using it and just kind of showing it to you today, and maybe that's something you would enjoy for fall. And thanks for hanging out with me and just talking about makeup. That's what I like to do, and I will talk to you soon.